Hey lovely people, welcome to the Empower Journal, a space to create the life you want to live. One more year loaded with so much memories and tough times and happy times has passed. But I need to say that 2022 was exceptional year and I wish this continues for all of us forever. Wishing you a very happy new year. Hey guys, you know what? Last month was filled with long and endless ridges, grasslands and huge peaks with a 360-degree panoramic view of mountains. And it was for close to 10 days, I had to say. And also, I need to mention this, that I had a great year-end celebration in Himalayas. I'm your host Dev and I am excited to be with you today, and this episode is dedicated to the life in and with mountains. So which means no Q&A on this episode, and I hope you can spare this for me. There might be people with different experiences and I'm gonna be sharing mine anyways. Thanks in advance for accepting it, and I promise that I will complete all the pending questions ASAP. So let's hike into the show. I actually don't know where to start with, seriously. Should I be talking about the climate, the breathtaking views, the altitude, or the lessons I learned, or even the nature overall? But I should tell you this, I got overwhelmed with nature. In short, today we have become too gadgets dependent to survive. Like if you're hungry, we have an app for that. Need directions, we have map for that. We even have an app to remind us to drink water like every now and then. Just take a break and get back to the basics. All you need is air, food, water and shelter. And of course, you could fit all this into your backpack and just leave. It's merely rare you get free of technology, so make the best of it. And that's what I did during the second week of December. Me and my friends recently completed the Brahmatal trek during second week of December. The temperature at night dropped up to -5 degrees. When I planned for this trip with my friends, honestly, I had no idea what I was going to face. In fact, it was all an internet post frenzy for me. But the real experience was a complete contrast to my expectation. And the funny part is, while planning all these treks, I actually thought temperature is something I can endure. But let me tell you guys, it's a whole different level of difficulty. Some might take this as an exaggeration, but then again, everyone has a different experience, especially at Brahmatal where the weather conditions are very dynamic, and of course it was tough. You know something? What you really start seeing when you start traveling is how anything is possible. Because time moves slowly, you move more slowly, you will realize so much can happen in a day, 2 days or a week. And the first thing is, you learn to unlearn everything you have been told about life so far. Because you will actually realize how short life is, and there is always something to discover. Trekking will make you more wise and intuitive, where you will actually stop complaining about life anymore. I think it's enough preface, and here is my trek days for you. View-wise, it's very mesmerizing. Brahmatal is in fact an easy trek, but during winters, again, it becomes moderate due to a lot of snowfall because it slows us down on the trail. But sadly, there was no snow during second week, but I actually feel lucky about that because the temperature dipped up to -5 degrees Celsius. So I should mention, bearing the cold makes it moderate experience, especially for the first timers. And this trek starts from the base camp called Lohajang in Uttarakhand. It takes you to two beautiful alpine lakes, Bekaltal and Brahmatal. And throughout, it got spectacular mountain views in the region. In fact, not just the mountain views, you even see this a famous Rupkund trail spread out right in front of you. And of course, you see most views, including the Rupkund trail from the ridge while trekking to Jandi top. From the ridge, you see the grand Mount Trishul, Raunti Saddle connecting this Trishul and Nantakunti. Then you have this spectacular view of Chaukamba and Neelkand. And Pramatal is a high altitude trek where you cover 24 kilometers in 4 days and you climb up to 12,250 feet. So remember, basic fitness is very mandatory so that you don't get physically exhausted, because I did go through that. I hope you realize it is quite difficult to trek solo, so you better take guidance. I took India hikes with me. You can Google for more details about them, and this team is really cool. We went for a 5-day journey and it was a full support trek. All the tent, sleeping bags, food, everything was provided. In fact, the food was nice all over the trip. Thanks for our cook, and thanks to all the horsemen who helped us to carry our large bags, made our trail much better and not tough. Having said that, the journey was full of surprises and amazing scenes. The scenery over Himalayas was just beyond words, guys. The sky, the snow, forest, most importantly, the bonding we built around our friendship by being together with no disturbance and no distraction was beautiful. Also, the experience of camping at such high altitude was an experience of a lifetime. So this lifetime experience also gave me some beautiful life lessons, which is why I'm here today to share it with you all. And we have come to the last segment of the episode. I have done so many trips with families, friends across India, and also few international trips. Of course, all were amazing, but none of it matched the experience in Himalayas. I read this somewhere, like after a day's walk, everything has twice its usual value. I have personally experienced this. I used to underestimate myself, thinking I can never scale such heights, till I made up my mind one day to give it a shot. And what I don't remember is when and what exactly kickstarted this love for mountains and nature. Of course, my friend did, yeah, thanks to her. But it's there now for a while. And one thing that I'm sure of is that it will last till my legs give away. There is something magical about waking up and experiencing a sunrise in the great outdoors. I just love it, because we are so engrossed in our own world with our own little problems, where we have lost all the capabilities to look beyond ourselves. It's only when we are exposed to such rough terrains, wherein we cut off from civilization and see these local tribes with bare minimum necessities to live on, and yet never complaining and living in harmony. It's so beautiful to see all that. But whereas we always keep wondering whether the glass is half full or half empty. Because let me tell you this, the mountain life is very tedious and difficult. The localites live in wooden houses with very basic amenities, and in areas that are always prone to natural disasters. They bear tremendous cold weather, walk for miles for every needs. Kids with cracked red cheeks that hurts all the time walk for hours to attend school. Yet, you will always find the locals be really sweet with whatever little they have. And in fact, they lend a helping hand to you anytime. In contrast, we the city life dwellers always live a life of tension and stress. We have loans to repay, never enough salaries, loved ones who never reciprocates, the food we love end up giving us obesity issues, and constant judgmental society at every step. But if you manage to take a break, free of this cluttered life every once in a while, you will come across these people who care, who bond with strangers with no high expectations. And also one important information, to visit mountains, it doesn't cost a bomb. All you have to do is proper planning and schedule your dates of travel, and the entire trekking is taken care by any individual organization that you can get from Google. Of course, happiness is economical. And when I talk about this, I should share my first trek experience to Deryatal Chandrashila, famously called DC. It was not only arduous but also very painful. My body did not accept the hardships that I suddenly hurled on it. Neither I was mentally prepared. I personally realized there is no point in letting the fear of failure hold you back from doing something you want to do. or most importantly, capable of doing. With all these mindful efforts, I completed my summit. Yes. We sometimes set up larger life goals and try to push ourselves up to achieving them ASAP. Because in the mountains, while trekking up and down the steep, especially when our calf muscles become sore, we understand the importance of small but steady steps. While submitting a mountain, one can learn that real struggle is not about how to be better than others. It's all about overcoming the continuous battle between our own mind, the willpower and the body, the physical exhaustion that you go through. As we hike up the long, rough roads, every part of our body starts protesting. But our mind keeps telling us, you have come this far, let's get to the end. Not to be better than anyone else, but to be better than ourselves. So no matter what, during the trek, the goal is to get to the top of the mountain steady and strong, and not to win a race. And as we reach the top, after all the hardships, the sense of accomplishment that we gain is truly phenomenal. Remember this, nothing good ever comes easy. Whether it's hiking to the top of a mountain or working hard to make your deadline, in the end, it's all worth it. And something really interesting is cooking on the Empower Journal called Journal Talks, the season where we have achievers share their stories with us. Until the next episode, this is Dev signing off. Start on your game and keep going for your dreams. Thank you so much for listening. Download Amazon Music or Spotify. Don't miss out to subscribe the Empower Journal. And also be sure to check other podcast episodes too. Once again, wishing you a very happy new year. Dream big and make the most of 2023. I'll catch up with you soon again. Nandri!